Hello everybody and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about this new random fucking ban list that just showed up with our usual suspects Vincent and Nick, and I am joined by Chick-fil-A because I am starving. We are going to discuss it as we normally do of our thoughts and where the format is going to go with our very wise wisdom and knowledge, with our infinite years of playing this game. So feel free to say hello Vincent and Nick and then we may begin.
Hello.
Howdy.
Alright, first card ban. Curious.
Okay, all right.
I'm a little bit late. A little bit late to the party, but I mean, better be late than ever.
Oh god! Literally, it's like they were running on like a delay. You know what Konami's reminding me of? Internet Explorer. It's just running. It's just running like 2 months behind.
Can we just make a general comment about this ban list?
Not like that's fair.
To be honest, I think you summed it up on the tweet right there. Like,
what the fuck is this? What is going on here?
That's pretty much that's my reality. In sum, what is going on? Question mark. It's a real it's just it's not like an angry one too much. Although I'm a little upset by this list, but really it's like 95%. What is happening? What is this?
It almost reminds me of the emergency list from Pepe, but it's not.
But not. They just released a list for shits and giggles. It seems like.
Do you think this list has something to do with the Magic community right now, of how Wizards is going down currently?
Do I think that they made a list with them in mind? I don't.
Because
I don't
my
think
logic
so.
is with the logic of how bad, from my understanding of being a Yu-Gi-Oh player, not a Magic player. Nick might know more about this. That the standard format being complete doo-doo poo-poo water, and players are not happy about it. And with I believe it's the stock prices of Wizards or the parent
Might be
company
Hasbro.
of
Might be
Hasbro.
Yeah.
Hasbro.
Do you think that might have scared Konami to be like, hey, maybe we should actually do what players want?
Maybe that could be a factor. I'm at a loss as to why they did it. So that's a good.
Exactly. I'm trying to think. I'm this is super this is almost on conspiracy theory levels of bullshit I'm spewing.
But
I mean,
maybe
I mean, Magic is in a really weird and not good spot because the 30th anniversary $1,000 packs and proxies and the stock price plummeting and them overprinting cards.
Yes, that's the big thing a lot of people are talking about lately is the rate of printing.
There's so many commander decks that are out now. They keep printing commander decks apparently left and right.
To give you some numbers on that before we get sidetracked too far, just to give the listener a scope on how much stuff they printed. So in the year 2016, they had about 800 new cards in the game that year. This year they have, I think, 2,100 cards.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
They doubled. They
almost tripled.
Commanders, it's even worse for legendary creatures that you're talking about. For your commander deck, they had about 50 in 2016. They have around 400 this year, I think.
Oh my god!
So I don't know how you keep up with that.
Yeah,
I thought that Yu-Gi-Oh put out a lot of stuff compared to Magic, but that was a scale that I used 6 years ago in 2016. I was well, Magic is a lot more muted. That they were a lot more controlled with their printing. But now it's the other way. It's Yu-Gi-Oh is more controlled.
You could be doing a lot of side sets. I will say a lot of side sets between Speed Duel and then normal side sets that they're doing, and then whatever other nonsense they throw out.
And structure checks, but structure checks don't have a lot of they have 10 new structure checks. They're not even 10. They probably 7 to 8 new cards and a structure check, and it's most all reprints.
Yeah, roughly.
I'd actually be curious to see how many Yu-Gi-Oh has every year. I wonder if there's a search engine that could tell us that.
There's probably some statistics somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But regardless of our little conspiracy theories of why this list exists in the first place. But it's here regardless. So this is going to affect.
Yeah. Sorry for sidetracking it.
The next YCS, as opposed to the last 3 that we had, I believe, with the previous format, that Ishizu tier clearly dominated. Which makes this list even more interesting because you would think they would be trying to hit a Shizu tier, and it just I don't know about that one.
So, well, yeah, well, we'll get to, I think we'll get to the hit event. I mean, so how about the card we're talking about right now, I guess? Is
Curious existing.
So this is supposedly a hit. I
it's,
think.
it's a card that no one's upset about being gone. Like, this is something that everyone knows. Like,
It's a card that's really good. It's another Lavalval chain.
Yeah,
It does a lot. Like, it did a lot when it was Danger Tier before Shizu. So I mean, if they like, I guess theoretically like gut these Shizu cards, this card will be played again.
I was just
did
about to bring up a
test
Lavalval chain.
Yeah.
Or well, I'm saying like in the
Yeah.
future. It's like
I agree. Yeah.
So I'm happy this is gone because I again, it's deck access to literally any card in the game.
It is a very powerful card. That's actually a card I thought they might have banned in the last list.
Yes, that's when it should have been banned. Was last list.
Yeah, and so I feel like I get this feeling that Konami. I really hope it's not this aspect. Like, I hope it's not. This is not what they're thinking right now. They're patting themselves on the back. Like, see, look at that. We got rid of Curious.
we made the players happy. We gave them what they want.
We haven't played Curious in 2 months. You know.
I don't understand it. I just don't get it. I don't understand. Like, I wish Konami gave more like feedback to the players of like what they're thinking.
But then they get roasted, so they're not going to do it anymore. They did do it one time, and then it got obliterated.
No, just do it again. Make me happy.
Well, that's one thing Magic does do. So like that maybe Yu-Gi-Oh could do, like you're saying. Just give us a reason. What are you thinking when you?
Yeah,
ban
exactly.
Curious?
Like, at least give like for this ban list, right? Like, it's just every few months. Like, at least just say like, hey, there was some things that weren't going on in the format that we expected to go on, so we're going to release a ban list early. You know, like something like that, whatever it may be. Or like the state of the players is not the best interest right now. Blah blah blah. Something of why it exists, but whatever. Konami's a business.
Yeah, we're just left wondering now.
Yeah, and Konami's a business. They just do what they want. Okay, I guess that's it for Curious. We could talk about Mystic Mine being finally gone. Again, another one I don't think anyone really cares about anymore, at least. I guess it's obviously like very happy.
It's a card and we don't have to play around anymore. Like, it just like
Makes deck building easier.
Yeah, it makes it playing. You don't have to main that. I mean, when we get to unlimiteds, it's still going to be a problem. But like, mine was definitely just a straight win con.
I'm kind of sad, and there's a reason why I'm sad about mine is because I was actually probably going to use mine in the remote dual ICS to help counter tier going second. Because it makes them play really poorly. And the fact that it's banned now is really annoying. Because it's actually harder to try to go second now. Because now we don't have...
Against tier, you mean?
Yeah. Because now we don't have Maxi or mine. Like, now we have, like, no power one card. That, like, you see it and there's, like, a chance.
Dimension Shifter.
For mirror... like mirror match. Like, not shifter.
Mirror match.
Like... Obviously, I'm going to be playing a Shizu tier. Like, there's just no way I'm not playing that deck. Because I genuinely still believe it's the best deck.
Oh, well, you're
your
right.
own experience with it would tell you otherwise, though.
Well, I'm going to figure it out. But I don't think anyone's going to complain about Mystic Mine being banned, though. Like, obviously. Like, we've been complaining about this card for over years.
I think people are not really going to miss it.
It almost reinforces,
but
it almost reinforces my conspiracy theory about making the players happy.
Yeah, well, with mine, that was like the most pushed social thing. Or what do you call that? Wasn't it on Twitter at one point? Didn't he get like a trending on Twitter?
Yes,
Mine?
yes, Mystic Mine was on Twitter, trending.
So,
I mean, you also go look at the YCSs where they had like Mine Burn on stream, and it's like, any stall deck, and it just
Even
like,
just
wow.
players.
Wow.
That's what goes back to like what I was talking, like what we were just talking about, all of us actually. Like it was on stream, and it did win in August, right? Was it in August?
Yeah, in Brazil.
Like, and then there was a ban list a month after that, and they didn't ban it. And
Well,
then
even on
suddenly
stream,
they
it
banned
was
now.
doing crazy. It wasn't just in Brazil. It was played always, like every stream. Like Mystic Mine was somewhere in that
Yeah,
stream.
oh yeah, it was like Mystic Mine Summer,
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
So
But-
a little late. Like it feels like you said this is like a delayed list, which is strange because we just had one before that. It would be one thing if like they just didn't ban any in September or
Yeah.
whatever it was, October.
It's also
Yeah.
something that isn't fun to watch, like entertainment wise, like for players watching the stream, right?
Yeah.
If you're like
a
at home
slam
trying to
mine down,
enjoy it,
alright.
you see a player combo out of his mind, do like these like play really well, play a board, missing mine. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's great. And then we just watch them sit there and draw like 50
Like,
turns.
Draw, go, draw, go.
It's
Yeah.
like this was fun. This was a fun watch. Great. Okay, limited. The one limited card being Herald. The only suitable Ishizu tier hit, in my opinion.
Can't counter shifter as well as you could.
I was already pissed about being orange lighted. Now I'm going to be more pissed when I get orange lighted.
Yes. Yeah, you're gonna get one of.
It's going to be like the Maxi one of thing, right? Like
I still think you're gonna play the one orange. Why wouldn't you?
absolutely. You
Yeah,
just definitely still play it. It's fucking broken. The card's nuts.
I will say for decks that aren't tier, I mean, or if you are tier, you're gonna have to worry about that less. So the whole like they combo on your first turn is gonna happen less now, or like they have like a ton of interruption where like they discard this in Medora, they discard this in Kelbeck.
Right.
That stuff isn't gonna happen as often now. It's just gonna be mostly Cabinet.
Cavness and Bestials. That's it.
Well, yeah, Bestial's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that, but
You could also
so it's
like
like you're going to be oppressed a little bit less.
I saw people playing, or I should say, people starting to do this was play Chaos Hunter, and they were going like you special summon a monster. I like Chaos Hunter discard like Kelbeck, and then like
Ooh.
still mill 5 on your turn. And because Chaos Hunter's on the field, you can't like Medora or what's it called? Medora. Or the
I
other
like
one.
that.
Or Keldo.
Or Keldo. So like my fusions are going to resolve too. Super dumb. I hate this deck, but besides the point. I don't like the mill version. I don't like it. It bothers me. I don't like the fairy stuff.
Really?
I'm not a fan, to be honest. Of like, and not like it's like I know it's broken, and I'm gonna use it, obviously. But like, from a like, I play this game for enjoyment still. I don't find the deck enjoyable to play.
I already have something in Yovin for this without
Yes.
using any of the Shizu cards.
Right.
So like, it's still tier limit, but it's not using a Shizu cards.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
I mean, just like step back for a moment. Like what you just said there makes a lot of sense. But, you have something in the oven. Well, there's like the whole tier deck before Shizu came out. You know, like the deck has
Yeah.
plenty of options.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I just
know.
don't think that this is gonna put a nail in the coffin for the fairy build.
No.
No. A lot of them were citing this card already.
I
weren't they?
I put it at 2 on my list before this obviously came out. I wasn't even playing 3 of this card.
Yeah, the winner wasn't even maining the Heralds.
Yeah, he sided all three.
He sided all three.
Yeah, so a little bit of a strange hit there.
They just didn't want to hit
like
new
all
stuff.
the things
That's,
you could have done.
that's the only thing I can think of. They don't want to hit new stuff. Like, what's not new that they could hit? The whole deck's new.
Right. I think that is it, and that's why like they hit Ronin Toad in the previous one.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, you can put that card to 3.
Yeah. People
And
just don't
Okay,
care.
Calm
doesn't
down,
matter.
Nick. Calm down, Nick. Calm down.
am I wrong?
As long as they reban substitute.
Yes. That's true. That's true. I forgot about that. I'll let that slip.
All right, Orange. I'm done with you, Orange Late. All right. Oh wait, no, not that one. All right, semi-limited. Sorry,
I
there
was
is a
gonna say, I
semi-limited
thought there
card.
was something else.
This. All right. This is really annoying because I feel like everyone is just skipping this. I
Yeah,
don't-
they just gloss over.
I don't know if you were watching Banlist reactions. There were so many people who were like, "Oh, cool, Starling's at 2, yada yada." The only person who acknowledged it was DB Grinder. He was the only one
Yes.
who saw this and was like, "Why is this at 2? This is disgusting." Like, this is a card that should be at 1, which it
It's
should
very
be.
good.
But
Do you think it's
Samorg-
going to be able to do anything in this
But-
format, though?
but
Absolutely.
Samorg's banned.
What?
But Samorg's banned.
It's not about Samorg, Vince. It's not about Samorg. This deck
No.
wasn't powerful because of Samorg. You can now do the fucking, especially with a card that's at 3 now too on the same list. You can now do the Revolt, Appaloosa, Weirless, fucking Exceed that bounces special summon monsters, and the fucking Utopia on top of that. Again,
Eh?
consistently.
The full. That's the full combo.
Yeah, you can do it again. Like, consistently. It's like so easy.
All right, so I think that definitely raises the ceiling of the deck, without a doubt, right?
But
Having 2 Starling.
I cannot stress enough how good 2 Starling is. I really can't. Like it's so easy, and especially in a deck like a main deck 3 DD Crow 2 as well. This is also very relevant.
So I guess I think that it is a very powerful thing. I don't know if it's going to matter just because of effects like Havness. That's the thing I always like when I'm thinking about a deck right now. I'm wondering if the deck gets responded to with a Havness, what can it do? So like, you're going to get hit by Havness on the first Starling, maybe earlier than that.
Right.
And so, like, are you going to get to the second Starling before they, rule Kalos, before they Kaleido you? I mean, are they going to be able to Kaleido you? I don't know. It's just like they could mill so much.
Right.
At the same time, shuffling away a bird up deck's graveyard doesn't hurt that much, right? I guess it does a little
It stops
bit.
the
3
tri
is a lot.
brigades. The
Yeah.
tri brigades.
You get rid of cards in their grave, it's probably a lot.
My logic is Revolt is still a broken card. Appaloosa is still a broken card. The Leerless rank 1 is, Vince knows very well, a broken card.
That card's
The card's nuts. Yeah.
That card's crazy.
Especially against Tier. Every time they fusion something, it's like boing. And you're never getting to a fusion to negate it with Draco's Stapelia. So
As you can say, which rank 1? They have 3 rank 1s that they play.
Robin.
I know the bouncing one, right?
Yes, I believe it's called Robin. The not once per turn bounce. That card's disgusting. Yeah, but overall, I think this is more impactful than people are led on to believe.
I hope it does well. I hope it
I have a bird deck
inserts
sitting in
itself.
my room right now that's like itching to be pulled out. If I didn't have this stupid FTK deck built, I would I would build a bird up deck. I'm turning this light off. I'm fucking sweating. For anyone who is watching up to this point, sorry, my lighting is going to be terrible now, but I'm dying of heat. All right, Unlimited. I think this is where it gets like super crazy dum-dum. This card being back, Teller Knight, Ptolemaeus. All three of us have played with this card before.
Yes.
Diamond. I mean, it was for Infinity, but like now it's for Diamond. Can't do a turn 1, which kind of sucks, unless you like literally go with the 3 level 4s. Besides that, you're going to do a turn 2 and beyond. Yeah. Besides that, that's the only thing that like
No, don't forget about the other effect, man.
the turn skip.
No, the attach effect.
Attached during the end phase, right?
Yeah, attached during the end phase.
So
But, like,
you make it turn 1, attach to Teller during the end phase. During your opponent's turn, if they do anything, you chain Ptolemaeus and then put Diamond over it.
So you have to run another Exceed in your extra deck.
To get like
Make the Diamond on your opponent's turn.
to tell Tealman that they can't mill.
And negate Darks.
You negate one
Any
dark.
Darks.
One dark.
Is it 1? Oh, because you only have 1
You
material.
have to detach 3, yeah. So you can negate one dark. One dark, but they can't mill. That seems like a pretty good trade deal, to be honest.
It's good. What's making this card?
2 level 4s. What's making this card? The mirror.
The mirror match, right?
That-
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's the mirror. You just mirror this shit out. I think there's going to be people who are going to play some, like, Teller deck, probably. Draco Slayer will probably abuse this. I think this is, like, the best card Draco Slayer needed, if I'm being quite honest.
Yep.
I think this is an excellent addition for that deck.
Now, this section right here, the unlimited section, has a theme, I feel like, of this is more what their answer to tier was than putting Orange Light to 1. Does that make any sense?
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. It's like, we can't hit cards. I swear to God, they have a rule that they can't hit a card that came out in, like, 3 months. Or something
Seems
like that.
it.
So they never fucking do it.
True.
Trim around the edges.
The only time they did that was Pepe, and that was like an E-ban shit. But like, that was it. That was the
Yeah.
only time.
I really like this card. I thought this card was super cool for a really long time. And I don't, if I remember correctly, this card got banned fucking fast, right? Like, this is
Yeah,
a
I think it got banned with all the Pepe
Cross
stuff.
Souls was 2015, and I think it got banned with all the Pepe stuff. Yes, it was 2016 when it got banned.
and it hasn't been back since. I was looking at rank 5s, and there was nothing, like, crazy. Like, it's still just the old stuff, pretty much. I might have missed something. I, like, glanced through it when I was at work. But I didn't see anything that was like, oh my god, this is bonkers, you know?
Yeah, it seems like Diamond and Infinity, right?
Yeah, those are, like, the two. It's not even Infinity. It's Nova to Infinity.
Right. Well, yeah, Nova
Yeah.
to Infinity. That's
Right.
right.
Yeah, it didn't seem like anything, like, completely nuts, though. I still like Diamond the most, overall. I think Diamond's, like, the correct...
Diamond seems like sort of so like Ptolemaeus and Diamond seem like your replacement for Dweller. If you're gonna do that,
Right. Again,
need extra deck space
that's
for
kind
all
of the
this.
other issue is, like, you have to decide would you rather have Ptolemaeus or Dweller. I do like Ptolemaeus a little bit better because you can't super poly it with Ruli Kalos in the mirror, which, like, could be relevant.
true.
I think that's something that a lot of people don't, like, think about. Because a lot of times you end on Dweller, Ruli Kalos, and, like, a super poly's laughing at you as you're getting your shit pushed in the next turn.
There's also something to like Diamond doesn't even allow for a mill. Dweller does, so
Right. Yes.
And Diamond's also like permanent, like just like as long as it's on the board.
Right, it's not like
neither player
I
can
have to
mill,
activate it.
but like while Dweller, it's like all right, well, it's like every turn.
Yes.
That's big though, right? Because like you can't even have this response to get a guy on the board. You can't Sharon to get a 4 on the board.
Rhino Hearts on field doesn't do anything. Mirror's effect doesn't
Reinhardt.
do anything.
Yeah.
Suddenly the cards are just like bodies that you just
They're
like,
all
normal summon out
bad.
of
They're
your
all
hand or
really
something.
bad.
Yeah.
I don't even think you can activate Sheeran.
Screen,
No,
yeah, you can't activate
I
any
don't
of
think
them.
so. Yeah.
Agito,
Screen does
Kelback,
nothing.
again, equally bad.
You can't scream, so you can't even drop its attack to even like, beat over
Attack
it.
over. Yeah. That's big. That's very big.
Yeah, like, it's a really, really good card. I think it'll see play, if I'm being honest. I think it will. And then obviously Pallades is, like, still a card you can go into. That's
True. Yeah.
the best, one of the better interruptions of, like, just spot removal that you could go into. I remember that.
There's a deck that could run all. It's like a
Yeah.
Ptolemaeus turbo deck. I mean, you have 3 of this now. Normally, when a card gets unbanned, you have 1. Maybe there's some sort of deck that can go into this as like their premier thing, and they just have all those options.
That just sounds like some, like, evil swarm cheese.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine it being actually good though.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But the other problem is it's 3 extra deck spots. If you want, like, you can put this in tier, and tier's extra deck's already tight as it is.
I think you have a choice between Dweller and this. I don't think it's
I think
I think the tier extra deck's very like it's already tight. That deck is very tight to fit shit in.
And I think you'd have to do one or the other because you're only going to make one of them on a turn, most likely anyway.
Because you have to cut Dweller, but then you have to cut 2 other cards to make this card optimal for going first. So Dweller's probably still the right choice, I think. But it's definitely
It's a deck
hard.
building concern there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you have to cut so much stuff. You don't want to cut anything out of that deck because like what do you cut? Dark, you need that. Sprint, you need that. All the fusions,
Elf.
you're already done the one of
Are
all
you
of them.
cutting Elf? I don't know. Yeah, like
like
Somehow Elf's probably
Beat-
the worst card. I never want to cut
like-
Zeus.
Beatrice, Willow. Like,
You know what I mean? Like, there's already so many
it
good cards
could
you can
be-
play.
could be those.
Beatrice, Willow, but Beatrice is insane.
So,
Beatrice is crazy.
yeah. It's
Beatrice is like curious. It's essentially just curious.
it's just a really hard choice. I'm gonna put the next 2 cards together, of Dimensional of a Defissure and Macro,
Right.
because there's
Very
just no
similar.
reason not to.
Going first cards.
They are just both going first cards that do essentially the same thing. I think Defissure's a little bit better because you can play it in more stuff and it's more versatile.
It's also a proactive. Well,
Yes.
yeah, it's a proactive card where you can play it on your first turn, or even going second. You can just
Yeah,
Slam
you
it down
can
first.
you can slam
Slam
it.
it down.
You can even slam
Go
it
ahead,
into a
go
tier
ahead.
board and usually it'll still do something.
right. It like softens their combos on your turn.
If they have like Solic or something, or if they're using Ruli
You can-
Kalos, it's a big no.
You can you can play around Defissure tiny bit better than Macro,
Yes, right, but it still hurts a lot.
But yeah, I
What
mean,
way are you thinking?
time,
With
time,
like with a
time,
redoer? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the only way to play around defissure is redoer.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. People were saying this is like a flu boost, but like flu didn't need a boost anyway. This isn't like it's my opinion.
Right.
It's not
Yeah.
for flu. Like this isn't like pro flu. This is just anti tier.
Yeah. And so this is what I with Ptolemaios, Fissure, and Macro, specifically those three, and I guess in a way Metaverse for like Necro Valley or something. Um, that seems to be like what they went with. They're like you said, like we're not going to hit the tier stuff. We'll give you some stuff instead.
We'll give you
us
more options to counter it.
more floodgates. All the floodgates.
Yeah. So I wanted to say like as like this isn't so much a what is going on for my phrase that I started with. This is a I don't like this.
Yeah, I think this is
I
worse.
don't like having 3 Fissure, 3 Macro as like the answer because not only so tier might have a little bit of a harder time, right? Because they have to worry about these. But now every deck that relies on the graveyard is like, all right, well now I have to worry about 3 Fissure, 3 Macro.
Yeah, it's like it's every
Um,
deck, dude. It's not like even dude. Macro even hurts something like Sprite. I think people don't even understand that yet. Like how much no graveyard like
Right, you
really
can't elf.
hurts.
We're not elfing. We're not using Angler.
Smasher
Can't-
sucks.
Smashers
sprint.
doesn't work.
Can't sprint, like nothing.
Yeah.
Really nothing.
It's just bad. I even said in
bad
one of the
news.
group chats, I even said Defissure and Macro, in my memory of playing this game, were the first floodgates I remember saying, I hate these cards. Like, I do not want these in this game.
More than Skill Drain.
More than
People
Skill Drain,
cried
100%.
about Skill Drain at 3.
I think Skill
I
Drain's
think
cool.
these cards are way more degenerate than Skill Drain.
They have Skill Drain worded in a way where I think Skill Drain's actually okay. Because you can play, if you're really good, you can play around if you have the right resources. You can do like some cool tricks around it sometimes, which is nice.
Yeah,
Not
sack
always.
a guy in response.
Yeah. Defissure Macro, you're pretty fucked. You're pretty fucked if these
Yeah,
things-
like,
if these resolve.
I don't know what you're doing. Yeah, I mean, it's just like people cry about dimension shifter all the time, and I hope that those people aren't also lauding this as like a good thing, because like what are you gonna do now? You need to have. I mean, I think it's more answerable than dimension shifter, but now you have to main back row removal or at least side a good amount of it. They're gonna have 6 copies of this stuff. It's not like one skill drain where people are crying about that.
Mm-hmm.
Or like one set of anti-spell. People cry about that too, you know?
Gotta
Now
start
it's
signing
6
those-
of these.
Gotta start signing those lightning storms.
But people are also
guess
building. They're also building decks around this shit, and I'm like, you know you're gonna brick, right? Like, once you see more than one, you're naturally at a disadvantage.
Yeah. And on top of that, like, the card doesn't do anything for you. If that makes any, like,
No, exactly.
it just it stops them from playing. Now, at the same time, it's like, so which is it then? If somebody's watching us asking, okay, well, so Jared, Vince, and Nick say that those cards are annoying, and they're really annoying floodgates that people talked about staying at 1 or being banned or whatever, and at the same time, they're bad to play. Which one is it, you know? But
They're the ones that you lose to it, and it feels the worst
yeah,
because you know that their deck building is probably garbage. Like
if you built their deck like that, you'd be drawing like
double,
2
like
Fissure and a Macro.
yeah, like yeah, exactly. And then I'm gonna lose to like activate Polaramo, summon Sharon, hit me for 23 4 times, and I'm like, oh fuck me.
Yeah. Yeah. Summon Stangan, beat down. Just brings it all the way back to that.
But yeah, I'm just not happy to see these back. I think this could
You
also
think
be.
that this is a Kashtira thing?
I was just about
Okay,
to say
you're
that.
just going to say that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think this is
All
going to
right.
be
I
Kashira.
thought the same thing, yeah.
This is getting ready for a Photon Hypernova.
To what extent do these cards help Kashtira? Now, I know that they can help trigger some of their guys, right? Their XYZs.
Maybe.
Or exactly. I could have sworn one of them says, like, if a card gets banished.
I haven't read the
Maybe
new
something.
ones. But the fact that it's not, I think it's like the Thunder rule, where like it doesn't, like zero, it does not hurt the deck at all. The deck completely plays perfectly fine under these.
Yeah.
So thus making it like just general support for that deck against here.
But the deck naturally has a macrocosmos. They literally have a walking macrocosmos.
So that's a good point.
Is that in
Their-
next set
their
or is
new
that in next
rank
set after?
That's the next one coming up this current February.
That is Hypernova?
Yeah.
Okay.
He is a macro, yeah. So it makes you like wonder then if you're playing, for example, like if you're playing Flu and you're playing Shifter, you're also going to play all of this. And then if you're playing that guy, even more so, it's like if your combo makes that guy on turn 1, are you also going to be playing Shifter and macro?
That's
Why?
9
No,
cards.
There's no need.
Like,
Are you going to play 9 cards in your deck that do the same thing?
I don't think so. I'm not playing 9 Cosmic Cyclones.
I don't know.
You're out of your mind.
But
you know?
knowing me, I'm going to lose to it. I'm going to like start swinging at my opponent.
That just brought me back. Do you remember this? Years ago, I played you in a tournament, and I had 6 Mystical Space Typhoons in my deck. Do you remember that?
That sounds so familiar.
I played Vada in round 1, and I had 6, but I didn't know. And I played you, and I like milled like a 4th one in Lightsworn Dragon Ruler. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I concede. I didn't realize that I was in there. And like, you're like, all right, I'll go to the next game. And then I drew like 4 in like the opening hand. I'm like, what is happening right now? And I didn't realize I had 6 in my main deck. Anyway, that's a whole totally side tangent. But you know, you run in 9 Cosmic Cyclones, you're gonna be able to
How to beat this? You just have to play 6 Cosmic Cyclones to get around.
get around your Fissure and Macro. You just have to cheat.
You just have to cheat. Yeah. Fuck these cards. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. I kind of.
Tenki.
Okay, that'll lighten up the mood a little bit.
Tenki is back.
Sure.
We can play Firefish, guys.
Oh boy.
I was like 20% thinking, 80% like, no, this can't. This isn't. I'm not wasting my time. I was like, could you play a Fire Fist deck that makes Ptolemaeus? Just some sort of. There's a bunch of 4s. I don't know. I'm like, no, they're terrible. They don't do anything, you know.
Bro, Dragon's nasty.
Yeah, it has to be Dragon, right?
Yeah.
Because all the other ones just like.
He's super abusable. Him and Dragon and Bear with the Exceed. It's like huge spammable potential. Regardless of,
right.
I'm not going to the Fire Fist combo.
Yeah, we're not doing that. Yeah.
Why?
This is grabbing Fractal all day.
Why has Tanky moved on the list so fucking much?
They don't know what to do with this card. I think it's because they weren't expecting like Tri-Brigade to fucking die in the ground.
Flop.
They put Tenki to 1 and that shit just done. Like Tri was just over.
Between like Tri and Zoo, it's like.
Well, Zoo
It's
sucks.
important.
They banned Trident again, so Zoo.
Well, yeah, they brought back Trident, and then they're like, "Oh, that's fine," and then like,
Did you see?
and it wasn't fine, and it's like,
Dude, there's a deck list that I saw on Twitter. I forget who posted it. But someone's like, all right, I'm ready for the new format. And it was a Zoo deck with 3 Tenki, but then I played 3 DeFi, 3 Macro, 3 Metaverse, 3 Necro Valley. I'm like, what the fuck is this pile?
What did that do?
It just
You
goes
attack with the
Borbo
zero
and the
attack
Zeus.
XYZ?
It's just Borbo and
Zeus?
Zeus. Yeah.
I guess.
It's so stupid.
Do anything. You're just gonna are you gonna swipe all your D fissures off the board?
I guess so. I don't know. I was just dying of laughter at that deck.
It's very strange.
Well, I'm happy. I think I'm happy to see Tenki come back. I'm excited. Like I said, I'm curious of how Bird Up's gonna do because keep in mind, like normal hand traps aren't really being played right now. So
it's all bestials and Havness.
yeah, and they're not light or dark, so bestials
Skull
don't do
Mice,
anything.
they're none of those affect.
So you know, Bird Up without going into real hand traps could probably do something. Their biggest issue is obviously Havness, and this is like really specific. But if you have Kelbeck in hand, and they use Karas for their extender to special, you can
They bounce the Karas back.
Yeah, you can literally just get rid of it immediately, and it just takes away one of their whole, which is
Try
huge
again.
for Tri-Brigade. That's a huge hit. It's just taking away an extra summon. That leads into
But-
another summon.
To be fair though, by then, if Kelbeck is the person's hand trap, I think you would have what's his name? Utopic Draco board, right?
You do all the bird shit first. So probably
Does he destroy?
He does not.
He does not. That's big.
I am
So then the Kelbeck
90%
doesn't,
sure that Draco Future does not destroy. It takes if it's on the field, but it does not destroy if it's anywhere else. So I mean, like, it's cute. I think Bird Up will see play. If I'm being honest, I think somebody will mess with it. Probably me. I would be lying if I said I didn't want to.
Let's go. Do it.
I want
I
to play
want
Crow.
you to.
It's a deck that can main deck 3 DD Crow. I think that's very relevant. And like combo with Crow and search Crow and
Yeah, Crow's an extender.
All right, and the last card for this fucking pile was Metaverse, which doesn't really matter because Mystic Mind's banned, but it does matter because Necro Valley still exists in this fucking game too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's you have 6 copies of Necro Valley at instant speed.
Can't wait to activate all your tiers and just be like, all right, chain Metaverse, slam Necro Valley.
I played against the Labyrinth deck on DB, and obviously I was playing tier, and he just like literally went Necro Valley, skill drain, activate Welcome Labyrinth, summon a 3000 attacker, and I'm just like,
That'll do it.
how do I beat that? Like, playing tier, how do you beat that?
Draw the spell trap removal.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. I was just like, bro, what the
100%.
fuck is this? You guys couldn't do anything, but I don't know. It's just very AIDSy. I'm not looking forward to like more Necro Valley because at first I'm like, oh, I'm gonna take out Cosmics and like Heartbeat and stuff because mine's
And then
gone.
you got to the unlimited section, you're like,
Well, great. Now I just want to take them all and put Twin Twister in
yeah.
because I feel like there's gonna be so many people playing jank. I think there's gonna be an influx of Flunder players.
No, please, no more.
I already have an influx of Flunder players. I want more Flunder players.
Flunder's so easy. If you have Twin, you just draw face Twin, hit trap, field spell, normal guy, beat over statue, and then you just shit on them in main phase 2.
Yeah, but it doesn't always work that way. That's like,
No, they like sided in or they main deck Featherstorm, and you're like, that's great. That's nice.
and they side judgments.
Oh yeah, that
They're
card's
like-
still legal.
Yeah,
They're gonna play all this yummy, scummy cards, that deck. Like
Yep.
they can play Fissure Macro if they want to be weirdos, you know? Like they can play Dimension Shifter, Featherstorm, Statue. M-Pen is a slimy card to begin
Like,
with, you know?
How miserable is that?
Dude,
like-
they can flip. They can set 2, flip macro, and then activate D-shifter, and then D-shifter gets banished, and then they can just like infinitely like do it. But macro's on board, so like doesn't matter. Never mind. The point sucks.
No. Hold on. Like it like insulates you against. No, it doesn't. Never mind.
Or they go or dimensional fissure, and then they can shifter you, and they can infinitely
It's
D-shifter you. But, like,
it's literally just the Rise of play that you're referring to.
yeah, but then they can just do it infinitely.
I think Vince is saying like if the D Fissure gets popped,
The
maybe,
Rise
like,
the
you
Rise of
can
play was
still
infinite. What do you
shift.
mean?
The Rise of Play I like better.
The Rise
yeah,
of play was
Rise of
infinite.
Play.
Rise of Play. That's what the guy tried to do on the stream, right? Why is
Yeah,
he-
the finals. He got punished very hard. Hey,
Yeah.
this card came and said hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe not anymore.
I think Vincent had it turn 1 and just didn't activate it.
He might have. I don't know.
I think he did have it. I don't think he had a fairy in his hand with it though.
That was what
I
I said.
remember
I
that
wasn't
stream.
sure. I don't know. I again, like, I think they, like, ending all this whole list. Why?
Yeah, what is going on?
Like,
What's that?
why is
The
this
players,
here?
the players like ban lists, so they're like, oh, we get like good publicity because if we list a ban
What
list.
is this though? So I wanted to say, I think I talked to you about this, Vince, at some point. They could unban or unrestrict so many cards right now, and they wouldn't it would not matter.
Yes.
I feel like, and the ones they picked, Fissure, Macro, like, come on.
I mean,
on,
they're
you gonna do that?
they're taking their time. They're just slowly removing shit off.
But this is the ones that we didn't want
Like the
to.
last couple of lists, they've removed at least one ban card off the list.
But we didn't
like
want
every
these.
list.
Who wanted them?
Well, I was talking about Ptolemaeus specifically because he was the only banned card.
Sure, even Ptolemaeus, though, like I don't remember there being a clamoring among the people that I converse with, at least, for Ptolemaeus to get unbanned.
No
I don't
offense,
think people even remembered.
As cool as this card is, it's not like it's a fan favorite or anything like that.
I mean, I hear Electromite all the time. I hear Harp Horror. I hear Colossus.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's more recent
Maybe
players. If I'm being honest, I think that's more recent players.
that is all
Screeching.
more recent players, right? So they weren't around for this, so I guess they wouldn't say that. It's a good point.
Because they didn't. Pepe didn't have Electromite, right? Did it?
No,
No.
it was pre-Link.
Oh yeah, duh, of course. Yeah. So I don't know. Like this card was cool for a little bit. I don't know, but like it just got abused really fast. But I think a lot of people. It's funny. A lot of people are trying to figure this out, and they just forget. Again, you attach a like the whole point of this card was to attach a Satellar, and then you still have Diamond on your opponent's turn. Like
Yeah.
you still do it turn 1, which is like very relevant.
Did I just not update this? The fuck?
Yeah, I hope it does something. I'm not totally like as a general statement for the end of this, like for my ending statement on it. I'm not totally upset with the list, like I said before. I'm just a little confused as to the direction that they went with it. The Deep-Vision of the macro, I can actually understand maybe the mind, but they didn't ever explain anything. That was the problem. Like I think I understand why they picked those two,
Yeah.
and the Ptolemaeus.
Yeah, it's very understandable. Like they can't like they're okay. We're not hitting tier. We're gonna bring stuff out that destroys tier, and they successfully fucking did that. And I think playing tier is just gonna be super frustrating. I feel like I'm getting bullied into not playing tier at this point.
But then
We're just gonna get bullied, period, now by Fissure and Macro every deck.
But then, like, what happens is, like, if like tier's not the meta deck and and what the format turns into just fucking banished decks,
Flu.
macro fissure.
I mean, we're gonna see with the remote duel YCS regardless. Like,
I think tier's gonna be fine.
I'm gonna try to
Yeah,
win
that's my
it.
prediction.
I'm gonna try to win.
Think
I'm
this
gonna.
is gonna be a big nothing burger.
I'm going for the W on this new format.
This is just gonna be a big nothing burger.
Go for it. I want to see it.
I want to win it. I want to win the event. I'm already registered.
A big nothing burger.
I agree with Vince, though. I think that this will amount to pretty much nothing.
Tier
It's
will still
Banlist.
be the best deck.
Yeah.
I think that is
Seriously, this
a.
deck. And then Prime's up for Kashira when it comes out in February.
Now, here's a question: when do you think
Okay.
the next ban list is going to be?
February.
I don't fucking know
You think
anymore.
think that soon?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm with Jared. I don't know.
It might be
It could be in a
after.
month.
It might be after the 3v3, I would say. Because
When
that's
is that?
like it's in February.
Okay.
I don't know when exactly. I think Photon Night Hypernova is legal for that event.
Yeah, it should be. It should be up.
So it might be before that then,
Well, they wouldn't
just to
put
clear
a
the way
ban
for
list
that.
out
set.
before Kashira becomes a thing.
They might if they want to push it, but I think that they're already pushing it. So I think you're right.
Yeah.
The deck, it doesn't even matter because Tyr just runs the Kashira cards anyway. Like it's just like a big mash
Well,
pile.
that's kind of what I mean. Is they didn't like tell you not to play Kashtira. They didn't tell you not to play tier limit Kashtira like the OCG.
Yeah, those cards are nuts. Fucking nutso cards. Oh my lord.
Well, I guess we'll see at the remote duel YCS. Regardless, I don't think much.
Everyone wish Jared luck.
I don't think. I don't
Good
think
luck.
much has changed. I'll try my best. We'll see. I always try. That's what I always say. I always say I'll try my best. Maybe I'll play not tier. Who knows? We'll see about that. We'll see. We'll see what my deck profile is after the remote duel YCS.
Jared, I can let you borrow some these Fenrir's.
I already own Fenrir's.
When is that? It's the middle of December?
Yeah, it's like no, it's like December 11th, 10th, somewhere in there.
Okay.
So it's a little earlier
Yeah.
in December.
Yeah, Nick, I've been testing like Fenrir's and unicorns and tier. Yeah, it does stuff.
As is right now.
It makes unicorn makes it really awkward for the opponent to play into. Put it that way. It's really awkward.
Was this like if they play a spell or a spell effect?
No, if they activate a monster effect, I could look at their extra deck and banish one of their cards face down.
Oh wow.
It's like it makes going first and the first card plays unicorn. It just like if they do anything like a bestial or Havness or like literally activate anything, you rip the like I mean depending on like what the matchup is obviously, but like in the mirror match you obviously hit the Kikalos because it's usually one of
Yeah,
anyway.
you're right. And that'll put an end to it.
It's very good, and that's like and then unicorn just stays on board. So then like that activate another monster effect, right? Like
Your turn.
to even
Yeah.
try to play, even for them to play, so they nail another card out of their extra deck. So it's just like, and if you open up really good, you can make Mind Hacker.
That's
Which is
the
like,
prize card, right?
yeah.
All right. I'm going to stop this recording. Thank you, boys, for this conversation as always.
Thank you.
If anyone who ever made
Thank you.
it this far, thank you for listening. And adios, everybody. See you in the next one.
Later.